Alright, first and foremost, I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Bashem Shai, Bashem Kodash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Green Stone, and salutations to all the brothers pushing this work in all sincerity and in all truth. I'm the brother Yahya from James Kingston, Jamaica camp, here once again with a quick lesson. And the question is, for this lesson, is how do you know you're an Israelite? The answer to that is basically you can take it from two angles. It's by faith. Faith in the scriptures firstly. What is faith? Faith is the evidence of things not seen, the substance of things hoped for, right? According to the book of Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. So through faith we believe the scriptures when the scriptures makes reference to what will happen to the Israelites in the last days, right? So by that faith we believe that we are the true biblical Israelites and descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, when you read the book of Deuteronomy, right, which is one of the foundation scriptures of this thing of ours, this belief of ours, right, you'll realize that these scriptures, by process of elimination, are more aligned to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's how you know that you're an Israelite, through the faith of believing that these scriptures right here in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, which are classified as the curses, right, are more predominantly related to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Now, jumping up in the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 15, it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, and all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So there are curses that are written in the scriptures, right? Things that will happen to a particular set of people in the last days, right? And these are curses that are closely mapped and linked with the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Now, when you read the history of the Israelites through the scriptures, you realize that they were constantly in a state of rebelling against the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and then joining unto the Most High. Now, they reached a stage where they became they went into a state of departing from their heritage, departing from their ancestry. They went into not knowing who they were, right? And this is exactly what happened to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We, the descendants of slaves, right, over here in the Western Hemisphere, a lot of them don't know where they come from. They say that they come from Africa, but Africa is a continent with multiple different tribes, right? It has multiple different people. So which people are you? Saying that you come from Africa is like saying that you come from any other continent in the world. And it doesn't matter if you don't know directly which people you're coming from. So therefore, when you read these scriptures, right? When you read these scriptures in the book of Deuteronomy 28, you realize that they are closely linked to what's happening to the children of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. So let's get down into it. Verse 64, right? So verse 64 says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." And that is what's happening to our people. You see me? But the scripture said they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. So our people tend to go forward trying to seek what they call a higher power. Therefore, them go forward into every other different religion, right? Every other different binding or align themselves with every other different belief, except for that which they are. They are confused. They don't know their true foundation. They don't know their true heritage. That's why you have our people going off into into Muslim, they're going off into Egyptologists, Egyptology, seeing them going off into being an Islamic, right? That's what they constantly do. So it says, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. So not even your father, your grandfather, nor your great grandfather know where you come from. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were evening, and at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now the word right there goes back to the word Egypt. Right there goes back to the Hebrew word Matazarium, which means double straits. That's the land that our people was in Egypt before, right? The one that they got Exodus from, meaning that they came out of that land in mass numbers, right? So the scripture say, He will bring us into Egypt again with ships, right? When you look up slavery, right, on Google, the most renowned slavery throughout the whole entire earth is the transatlantic slave trade. That is the most notable slavery that happened. So in the scripture says, He might bring us into Egypt again with ships. This is what it's talking about. It's talking about the transatlantic slave trade that happened onto our people, right? Because first, when we went into Egypt the first time, we went into Egypt by walking into Egypt, right? But in this time, which the scripture is referring to right now, is the slavery that happened through the transatlantic slave trade, where we were captured from the west coast of Africa and brought here into the Western Hemisphere through the transatlantic slave trade, right? It says, again with ships by the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, right? And that is what happened to our people, right? That is what it's talking about, right? So when you ask the question of how do we know that we are the children of Israel, we know through faith within the scriptures that these scriptures are speaking about us, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. So with that, I want to say Kalalal Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the brothers pushing this work in our sincerity and in our truth. Shalom.